Alright. So a bit of a streak of one-sided series. Yesterday we wrapped up the Swiss format. And it was very short and sweet. Obviously the VOD is available. MaxPax 2-0 at Classic in 12 minutes. Cura 2-0 at Beyond in 14 minutes. And Solar 2-0 at Clam in 20 minutes. And then we're like, well, okay. Every other day was awesome. Round 1, 2, 3, 4 were all fantastic. Playoffs gonna be sick, right? Well, so far it's kind of sick if you love Maru and Serral. Obviously this is going to be fireworks, guys. And don't forget that Maru 2-0 at Serral in the group stage. That's gonna happen tomorrow or the day after. Okay, not tomorrow. Tomorrow is lower bracket. So tomorrow we'll have a best of 7 between Cure and Solar. And then a best of 7 between the two losers of these matches. 12 maps in a row. Has it been 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, 3-0, 3-0? This is where it stops. Dark is too good to get 3-0'd. Reynor is way too good to get 3-0'd. Hello, Lino. I talked about Jared Joff a tiny bit yesterday, yes? You just found the video. I love it. I'll take a look at it later, mate. As our nerds are ready to video game. Dark versus Reynor. The one-sided series will stop here. I think this is going to be fireworks. Dark has always been a man of extremes. He is incredibly good in winning with builds that high-level Zergs will tell you that you shouldn't win with. But when Dark does them, they just hit different. Reynor, of course, is no stranger to being a little cheeky in ZVZ and making things feisty. I do favor Reynor, in case you guys wonder. I think Reynor is starting to get in very, very good shape. And obviously yesterday was a prime example of that. But I think no matter how good you are, you don't easily 3-0 this man. In the top left side, it is currently teamless, but hopefully not for long. Dark. In the bottom right side, the reigning, defending, undisputed European Pro Tour Weekly champ, BASILISK Reynor. After he dethroned Clément yesterday. This could be cheese madness. Yeah, we could get short games, but I just don't see this going 3-0. I feel like these guys are too good to get 3-0'd. I didn't watch the video, Madison, but I've heard a thing or two about it. I spoke with Artosis a few times about max packs, and I thought legitimately he was trolling me. And if he was not trolling me, his stake was incredibly poor. But I assume that he was trolling me. And we can talk about max packs when it's time to talk about max packs, guys. And he will be coming up next once this best of 5 is done. We're gonna take a little look at Dragon Kaiser Gaming's Hero versus max packs. That talk can wait. All eyes for now on Dark vs Reynor, who actually spawned on the right side of the scoreboard. Makes me very happy. There is a losers bracket, Stormgod, and the loser bracket is best of 7. So one match is already known. Tomorrow we have a best of 7 between Cure and Solar. Why is it loser bracket best of 7, upper bracket best of 5? I don't know. They want to do things differently. They want to make exits of this tournament very dramatic. I don't hate it. It is a bit strange, but I don't hate it. Hello, Boom. Long time no see. Best of 7s are very time consuming, but the good news about the way that they spread out this tourney is that you don't have to play multiple best of 7s. So if all you have to do is play one series per day, I think it's not too bad if it's a best of 7. It does suck if you're the underdog, because obviously winning a best of 3 or winning a best of 5 is a lot more doable than winning a best of 7. But all 8 players are pretty amazing, so I don't think we're going to have like massive underdogs. I would kind of think of like Cure versus Serral as a Cure maybe being a massive underdog. That is such a quick lair, by the way. I won't forget the game that I saw between Dark and Solar on Site Delta at the ESL Winter Championships, where they both played ridiculously fucking greedy. And Solar was really greedy, but at least still made some roaches by trying to rush into a spire. Dark literally went 2 base without zergling speed, no wall off, and a spire. Reynor came up to me after watching that game and he said, "What the fuck did I just watch, man?" He's like, "That is the most insane thing I've ever seen." If Solar would have sneezed at him, he would have died. But yeah, Solar was also being greedy. Dark was just even greedier. And I think if Reynor takes a little look at this replay, he will look at this opening and already be like, "Okay, Dark, that's ridiculous." But that's also what makes Dark Dark. The man is just not afraid to gamble. As the young viewers should temporarily look away. If you guys wonder how Overlords are made, this is kind of how Overlords are made, but that is only meant for our older audience. We do want to sincerely apologize for broadcasting this at 1 p.m. in the afternoon. This was supposed to be meant for our evening broadcast, guys. Cable television at 1 a.m., you know. Dark has built a Roach 1, but he's not going to use it. This is the same build as he did against Solar. And honestly, Reynor could be in a little bit of trouble against this. Because it's just... he's even going to fake Roach speed, guys. That's cool. Look at that. Dark knows that the links of Reynor are about to show up, so he fakes a Roach speed. And he's probably going to cancel it because he doesn't plan... Okay, he's not going to cancel it. I'm actually a bit surprised that he makes Roaches now. Maybe he's worried about Reynor attacking him. I had a feeling this was all fake because he's clearly only thinking about Muras. And if you play Muras, you want to have Zerglings. But having a few Roaches on the ground is not bad. Reynor is going to make 16 additional links now. Spire is done, I assume. Yep, Spire is done. Dark is going to fire up the first Muras. He does cancel Roach Speed. So he just had Roach Speed. He sold it by even making a couple of Roaches. And then he cancelled it. And it's working, man. Reynor is building Roaches here, guys. And once Reynor sees these Muras come out, he is probably not going to be very happy. I mean, Dark's build is incredibly greedy. It is so freaking committed. It obviously feels like a massive gamble, but that's just the way the Dark rolls. Yeah. I think Reynor is in trouble, man. I think Reynor is in serious trouble, but let's see. Dark has gotten away with murder. There are a lot of links on the left side of the map. And maybe if Reynor can surprise Dark, if these links are able to make it into... No, they are not going to be able to make it into the main, at least not yet. Dark is going to build a couple of spines, and 2 Roaches getting surrounded is obviously not nice. The Muras need to come home. Reynor should be able, at the bare minimum, to maybe kill that 3rd hatch. But if Reynor makes this many units, this many links and Zerg and Ravages, Reynor doesn't want to cancel a 3rd hatch. Reynor wants to do a whole lot more than that. And I'm afraid for Reynor that he's not going to be able to do a whole lot more than that. The hatchery did get killed or cancelled. The doors are actually open. There's still a lot of links here, actually, guys. There are a lot of links. There are spines finishing up. Can these links of Reynor make some magic happen in the main? Something got killed in that wall off. I guess it was one of the Evo chambers that wasn't doing anything. I mean, not a total mission failure, but I don't think Reynor is happy. Dark is still sitting at 42 drones. Has a lot of Mutalisk out. The good news for Reynor is that Reynor does have 3 bases and he can now build a bunch of spores. I'm not totally certain. I think I still like it for Dark. But maybe that's a wrong take by me. Arabic Throne says Reynor is fine. Well, I will disagree with you. And maybe you're right. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not convinced by my take, but I'm just giving you guys my take. I think I like this game for Dark. The 20 drone lead is obviously big. But Dark is going to be able to saturate that base quite easily as well. Man, Majestic is revealing himself, saying that Reynor has done enough and has won. Alright, I'm not saying that I'm 100% convinced, guys. I'm just giving my opinion. I cannot always be right. There's a good chance that I'm wrong. And let's see how the game plays out. I know that he's up. That's a hatchery kill. I know that Reynor is up 20 drones. Reynor also doesn't have a Baneling Nest yet. This Ling run by has some potential. If Reynor gets another cancel in the third hatch, that is big, by the way. And it's not going to be a cancel. It is going to be a kill. Now Darkness is going to send it with Lings and Mutas, but he's trying to kill a Spore. Killing a Spore is hard. Does in the end get it, but he's losing so many Mutalisks. Yeah, this was not the fight, guys. I do not believe that this was the fight for Dark, as he is able to get a couple of the queens. But killing a couple of queens if you lose your own third base is obviously not enough. Yeah. Good defense by Reynor there. Excellent. That was very well done. Dark thought that he could overrun the queens and the Spore Crawler there. And he did have a lot of Mutas. So, not necessarily the worst attempt of all time. But Reynor just had a perfect defense there. And Dark is actually a little bit sloppy here, as he potentially is going to lose another Muta. At this point, obviously, I completely agree with all of you that it looks very good for Reynor. Especially after Reynor killed the third hatch and didn't take crazy damage at home. Lost to a Spore. Killing a Spore is pretty difficult if there are 9 queens with energy sitting next to it. That is not a cancel either. Jeez Louise, second hatchery that gets killed in this game. That could have been cancelled. One on the side of Reynor, this one on the side of Dark. And obviously if you're down 20 workers, losing your third hatch is problematic. Losing it twice is pretty much game over. Well done. Yeah, no, I definitely didn't use that word, right? Q, I mean. It's just sometimes even the best gamers out there are gonna look at a fight and say, I think I want to take this fight. I believe this is the moment where my Lings and Mutas can shine. And it is safe to say that that did not work out. Reynor is now up to Hive Tech and is gonna build an Ultralisk Cavern. And Dark is just sending it. He is about as all in as you could ever be. Reynor has a couple of defensive Banelings as well, and I think with those defensive Banes he should be fine. 86 army supply for Reynor, 72 on the side of Dark. We're gonna get some Fungals, baby, and Fungals are amazing against Banelings. All of these Banelings will explode. And this attack will never deal the damage that Dark is looking for. He gets 12 drones, that's cute and all. But Reynor has 100 army supply. We have Vipers on the way, we have Ultras on the way. And GG will get called. Well, a single G gets called. Reynor takes the 1-0 lead. In a game where Dark honestly got away with extreme greed in the beginning. I think did a good job in selling it, firing up those 4 roaches to stay defensively. And make Reynor worry about other stuff. Even starting up roach speed for a little bit. I like a lot of the things that Dark did, but it did not go his way. And of course we had that big Ling Muta fight against the 9 queens and a Spore. You're not convinced by Dark's build there? Honestly, I kind of liked it. I know I cue you. It's all good, mate. Reynor takes the 1-0 lead. So if it is a 3-0, it's a 3-0 in favor of Reynor, but I still don't think that's gonna happen. Obviously, I do think that the links surrounding those 2 roaches on the right side of the wall, I think that was very painful for Dark, because I think if those roaches were on the left side of the wall, Reynor would have not been able to run into the main and cause all that lost mining time, get a couple drones here and there, so maybe Dark will be kicking himself for letting 2 out of the 4 roaches get surrounded on the right side of his wall off. Because if they would have just bought a bit of extra time, then the spines come online earlier, they will start participating in the fight, and maybe that attack would have been less good. Bottom right side of Golden Aura, down 0-1, it was Dark. Top left side, our Italian Stallion, boys catching fire, is starting to become in incredibly good shape. Basilisk Reynor. So far, a perfect day for the Basilisk boys. 4-0. With the attack, Cure Misago, do you mean Reynor's attack or do you mean Dark's attack? Because as I said, guys, I was not convinced of my opinion at all. I was not saying it's a fact. But I kind of liked the potential that Dark had. And I didn't hate his position. Obviously, I did hate it after the Ling Muta attack. That goes without saying because he didn't do anything there. Yeah, after Reynor's attack, I wonder what Reynor's take is in on it. Maybe Reynor will tell you, I was completely fine. What's funny, by the way, is that yesterday we obviously had that insane game between Reynor and Clem on Equilibrium. And I said for the longest time that even though Clem was down 25, 30 workers, that I really liked where the game was heading for Clem. And I thought that Clem was in a good spot and Clem was going to win. And a few people were like, absolutely not. He's down to 20 workers. He's down to 10 workers. Reynor DM'd me an hour after the finals, and he said he took a look at the replay, and he's like, what the fuck? I was so dead. I thought I was fine in Equilibrium. Oh my god, I was so dead. And he took some screenshots. He's like, how the fuck did I win this? I'm so dead. I'm so dead. So he actually agreed that he was in a lot of trouble. But while he was playing it, he didn't think he was in that much trouble. Because we obviously asked him in the interview. But after he went over the game, he said there was no way that he was ever supposed to win Equilibrium. And if you guys want to disagree with Reynor, that's fine. But that perhaps will make you wonder more than disagreeing with me. This EVC he will probably have a different take. Maybe he will say, no, that after the Ling Roach Ravager attack, it's completely fine. I'm sure we can ask him about it. He always stops by. That's the beauty of being on the same team as Reynor. But of course, after the Muda Ling attack, it was obvious that Reynor was in an incredibly good spot. Well, let's see what Game 2 will bring. You think you know a little more about SC2 than Reynor? There are people out there who do believe they know more than the pros. They'll be like, yeah, I'm just not that fast, but the knowledge is there. A lot of them like to post a lot on Reddit as well. They're like, I just don't have the time to play as much and have those mechanics. But the knowledge? I'm as smart as Serral, baby. Shout out to Phil Rat for the tier 1 subby. When I lack, I guess, instead of like. Don't snitch on me. I would never, mate. I mean, Reddit is a big place. And I think some of the people that post on Reddit are legitimately ridiculous. And I honestly think they are trolling or they just enjoy being a dick. But obviously Reddit is a big place, right? So you have a lot of very sweet users on Reddit as well. A lot of nice people, people who try to do great things for the community and the game. It's like, you can't just say Reddit is this or Reddit is that, because it's obviously a big place and anybody can join. I post every now and then on Reddit, so in a way I'm part of StarCraft Reddit. Just not that often. Reynor is building Lings, Roaches, and fires up a defensive spine as well. We know that that spine is not totally needed, but... Oh, sorry, Dark is the one who's dropping the spine. God damn it. I always hate it. You guys know why. Reynor is gonna apply a tiny bit of pressure with Lings and Banes, but Dark should have more than enough units to deal with this. And that's the spine finish. And that's okay. Reynor is even going to cancel one of these Banelings. Do you consider Reynor as your best friend? I don't know about that. But yeah, I've known the kid for a very long time. We get along incredibly well. It's been a real fun for me to see him grow, obviously. Like, kind of following his journey since the kid has been like 13, 12 even. And especially since he turned 14, I always got to spend a lot of time with him. I don't know. If I would say that he's my best friend, Benjamin Baker would be very hurt. And if my Dutch friends would hear that these guys are my best friends, they would be very hurt. It's not always a competition, guys. Reynor is a kid that I'm very fond of. It's been a lot of fun spending time together. He is definitely one of the ones that I interact the most with, but I think that's normal. We're teammates. We both are very active within StarCraft. Just makes sense, right? That you then, if you are friends, that you interact a lot with each other. Reynor is going to build a couple of spines in the third. As Dark is moving out with Lings and Roaches. Both players have +1 missile attacks. Reynor has 11 more drones than Dark. So where Serral often had like the picture perfect defense where it was a little bit less, Reynor has gone kind of greedy. He has 11 more drones. He's got tech as well. Dark is obviously very committed here. Can the Banelings clean up the Lings? They get good connections. The Roach fight looks pretty good for Dark though. How much can these Banelings do here of Reynor? Well, not bad to be honest. Those bailing connections were legitimately pretty good. That softens up a lot of the roaches from Dark. And I actually start to believe that this could be a hold as well, especially with these spines moving forward now. Reynor needs to buy a tiny bit of time, but once the reinforcements pop and the reinforcements have arrived,
reinforcements have arrived.
I think he is fine. Those bailing connections in the heart of that roach pack, I think really made the difference. We don't often talk about banelings being good against roaches because they are not supposed to be. But if they get connections that big and splash over that many units, they will have a big impact. And that is a successful hold. And then you look at the tech advantage, you look at the worker advantage that Reynor had. I'm afraid that we are starting to look at a 2-0 lead for Reynor. Dark, the man who made a early safety spine, decided to full send it of hatchery tech. And he does not get the damage that he was looking for. Nowhere near the amount of damage that he was looking for. Great hold by Reynor. Very well done. What server is being played on? Probably US Central. I think Game 1 was on Dark's preferred server, US West. Game 2 should be on Central. Game 3 will be on US West again. Well, Dark did not have roach speed because he didn't have a lair. You need a lair for roach speed. He went for a hatchery tech all in with a lot of lings and roaches. It would be funny if Roddy had a small hot tub and dominated the hot tub section. I'm not sure if that would be funny, man. I also don't think it would happen. It definitely wouldn't be very funny. Reynor is going to attack with a lot of his roaches, and he's going to obviously have roach speed, but Dark does not. If you're just defending 3 bases and one of the bases has a ramp leading into it, I think without a roach speed you should still be able to move your units around successfully. And obviously in the fight it doesn't have a crazy impact, but having roach speed does make it a lot easier to avoid the corrosive balls. I'm not sure if Reynor can break Dark here. Obviously Reynor has been droning up a little bit. I feel like Dark has enough units as long as he can avoid the corrosive balls. He's got 2 spine crawlers here. Like, Reynor is fighting in range of 2 spines and maybe he can actually get away with that. That's honestly kind of crazy. There are some extra units coming in, but maybe Reynor should at least make sure he doesn't lose the Ravagers, but he won't. He is just winning. He is just winning. After 9 minutes and 5 seconds, the man takes the 2-0 lead. Did he have to commit that hard there? No, he didn't, because he was fine. But Reynor will commit if he thinks he can just straight up win. Jeez. The boy's looking good, eh? It is really starting to show that this is no longer League of Legends Reynor. This is not the man who's going out to have some drinks here and there and look for some excitement on the Friday or Saturday evening. This is a boy who's dialed in and locked in and is grinding. It's always a night and day difference. Reynor try-harding or Reynor just kind of showing up to click some buttons. And over the last few weeks, the kid has been try-harding and it really shows. It is not over yet, guys. But it is starting to look a little grim for Dark. I think especially because in that first game there was some potential in his very greedy build and he got away with it. But Dark is a man with a crazy amount of experience. He's obviously a BlizzCon champ, as these two met in the grand finals of BlizzCon 2019. Back then, this man came out on top. The world champ of StarCraft 2 in 2019, it is Dark. And in the bottom left side, the world champion of StarCraft 2 in the year 2021. BASILISK Reynor. Reynor will go for the 12 pool. Okay. Has Reynor won a single tournament outside of EU? One would say that Saudi Arabia is not in the European Union. Also, we just had at one point a lot of tournaments in Europe, so... Reynor made it to the finals of a DreamHack Masters in Montreal, and he lost in a very close finals against Serral. Obviously made it to the finals of the BlizzCon that I just mentioned. Reynor doesn't really flop in tournaments ever, outside of the most recent Atlanta. That was that was probably like a once in 5 years that that's going to happen. But of course, Reynor was very sick leading up to that event. He missed his first flight. He even missed his second flight. Then in the end, he still made it. But he did not play a single game leading up to that event. And even in Atlanta, he was just coughing up a storm every single time you would talk to him. Nice mirror matchups. Today it is nothing but mirrors, which obviously means that tomorrow and the next day you won't get a single mirror. Well, Kranzi, it is not totally silly, mate, because Maru has played around 25 tournaments outside of Korea. Meanwhile, Reynor has played in 2 GSLs, and one time he was 16. If you want to compare one person playing 25 tournaments and the other one playing 2 tournaments, and you think that that's the same, then I guess the conversation is over, but that's obviously not the same. The 12 pool of Reynor has shown up. So far, I kind of like the defense of Dark, guys. Dark is doing a good job with his drones. He's now going to attack the links one more time. Losing 1 drone is honestly very good defense. Losing 0 is spectacular. Losing 2 is acceptable. Once you start losing 3 or more, you start getting a bit unhappy. And at this point, Reynor is going to commit for the hatch. Reynor will actually get the hatchery, and he gets out of there with a lot of links as well. And you can see Dark tilt his head back, where he's like, are you kidding me? Dark probably thought that the scariest part was over, as he bought a lot of time for his links to come out, but Reynor kills the hatch. And I am glad that I did not make any stupid promises about this not being a trio. Now all we can say, guys, is that I was wrong. Man. What on earth is happening in the Masters Coliseum? I'm glad I didn't talk about any tattoos and stuff. I didn't say anything about going to the hot tub section, mate. Now Roddy has to play a best of 45 against Naji. Don't tempt me with a good time wing, and I will gladly do that. If Naji is down, I'll gladly play Naji in a best of 45. Thank you to BV Jom for the 12 months. As Dark is going to try to recover by double expanding, which I do kind of like, because desperate times call for desperate measures. And often if a player opens up with a 12 pool, they obviously don't have link speed as a quick follow-up. There is one build where they do, but that's legitimately ultra mega all-in. And Dark is just banking on the fact that Reynor is not doing that, and he is correct. Already downloaded all of Naji's stretch after 45 games. I don't like playing PvP against people that are better than me, because it can feel very hopeless. And I don't really love PvP against people that are exactly on my level, because then I feel like the more I play, the less likely it is that I'm going to win, because I play like a donkey. But if I have to play 40 PvPs against somebody that's a bit worse than me, it will be kind of fun. Why isn't Wikipedia updated? I guess because everybody who's working as a volunteer is busy at the moment, mate. These things happen. So Dark is going to build a lot of links. Has a couple of banelings morphing close to the natural of Reynor as well. Reynor has a baneling nest. Reynor is going to get his first defensive banes. Queens are in the correct spot. I mean, Dark is just sending it, but he's sending it into a Reynor who's got an 11 supply lead. So that makes you wonder, what on earth are we looking for here, guys? Reynor is up 18 army supply, and Dark is morphing a crazy amount of banes on the other side of the map. I guess Dark hoped that Reynor would have 0 units? Did it just actually explode a baneling there, or was there a circling? We are looking for a trio and for the pain to end. I think that is indeed what it pretty much is, because I think Dark is just all mega dead. Wow. Did Reynor ever 3-0 Dark before, guys? I want to take a look at the legal act to see if that has ever happened. I feel like these two have been trading series historically. Sometimes Dark wins, sometimes Reynor wins. But we always know that Dark is crazy and good in ZVZ, and he's a dangerous opponent for anyone. Today it just has been all Reynor. Maybe going to Atlanta, guys, while being sick, is actually what led up to Reynor being the Super Saiyan that he currently is. I remember standing outside of the venue right after Reynor lost to Harstem. And he was obviously a bit disappointed, but he also said, he's like, it's okay. I didn't play much. I haven't played much lately. I've been sick. He's like, I'm done on the Saturday. He's like, this is actually kind of a weird feeling, you know? He's like, I can hang out with the boys on Saturday night and I don't need to worry about playing on Sunday. He was kind of smiling about it. But he's like, yeah. He's like, you know, for one time, it's not that bad, but I'm going to make sure that this won't happen anymore. Well, by the looks of it, guys, I don't think we're going to see Reynor hang out on a Saturday night anytime soon when there are big events happening. Because this Reynor will not get eliminated of anything early. He totally understands Kranzi's opinion from his point of view. Out of Reynor and Maru, only one player can make siege tanks. That is true. We know that the man absolutely loves the siege tanks. Dark is obviously on copium here, but you can't blame him. It is still the end of the best of 5, right? If he loses this game, the series is over. So obviously you're going to try, but Dark knows that this one is done and dusted, as Colaris would say. And Reynor with a stunning performance is going to make it the third trio of the day. We are speed running these playoffs so far. Reynor gets the clean sweep. What a performance by this kid. The boy is back. If any of you guys were wondering if he is back, was yesterday night a fluke? No, the boy is back. Let's take a look at the League Elect quickly. Dark. I wonder if Reynor ever 3-0 Dark. So 3-0, 3-2, 3-2, 3-2. Nope. For the first time in history, Reynor 3-0's Dark, guys. That has never, ever, ever happened before. Did have a 2-0 and a 2-0, but Reynor has never, in the 6 years that these two have been battling with one another, 3-0 Dark. 16-year-old Reynor took it personal, or 15-year-old Reynor, when he got 3-0 by Dark. I was there, by the way. Fun tournament. What a day for the Basilisk boys. Serral 3-0 Solar, Reynor 3-0 Dark. That means that we now know 3 out of 4 people in the upper bracket of the semifinals Masters Coliseum 7. Who will be the last nerd to join them? Will it be Max Pax or will it be Hero? And guys, I won't say much, but this will not be a 3-0, okay? Dark versus Reynor. Reynor didn't just win. Reynor dominated. This is not possible for this to be a trio. So I'll give you guys 15 minutes. I assume that they will take a tiny bit of a break. Okay. I'll give you guys 3 options. We're going to spice things up. Will Max Pax win 3-1 or 3-2? Will Hero win 3-1 or 3-2? Or is this going to be a 3-0? For the absolute degenerates out there, a third option. Doesn't matter who 3-0s. It could be Hero, it could be Max Pax. If that's what you guys want to put your points on, be my guest. I'll take a tiny break. See you guys soon.